you speak with people across the NATO countries about security issues, threats to democracy. How seriously do you take that? And if we take a look at what Anne said earlier on, that Russia have a vision of a divided Europe, of America having withdrawn from Europe. To what extent do you think people in America and in Western Europe look at some of these issues, as Neville Chamberlain said, as arguments about faraway countries that we don't have to worry about?
I think that's very difficult to argue in the modern world, where there's such a lot of interdependence and interlinkage. Communications in particular have meant that we're pretty much living in a global village. And I think democracy's in big trouble. I think that, without sort of being too exaggerating or alarmist, I mean, starting in America, which we're not specifically talking about today, but which makes the climate that we all live under. I think democracy, there is a risk, albeit probably not a likelihood, that democracy in America as we've known it could cease to exist. And if one was looking at a sort of doomsday scenario, you wonder where that would leave Europe if America pulled out of Europe and America ceased to be a democracy and a rule of law state as we've always understood it. In Europe itself, I think, we're in this strange, I would say, vortex of sort of a mix between populism, celebrity and nationalism, which is a pretty dangerous cocktail and which doesn't lead to good policy making or, good cooperation between European countries, which are obviously much stronger when they act in concert together than they are when they're divided and competing with one another.